Hello everybody, welcome to a little fly tying with Papa. This is especially for Mrs. Brown's art class at Parchment, and this is going to be some fly tying, just a little fly tying 101. We're going to be tying a fly that I call the Flash Ribbon Hothead, and this one is designed for bass or potentially some pike. So we're going to be tying this one today. We'll show you how easy it is with some of the steps that we have to take and get you a little oriented to fly tying and see if this might even be something you'd like to do. So let's go ahead and take a look at what it takes. We're going to start out with a hook, and that hook, just to give you an idea, a hook has an eye, it has a shank, it has a bend to the hook, and a point, as well as between the point and the shank, that is your gap right there. So what we're going to start out with is a little thread, and we're going to put a thread base all the way down the shank. And what that's going to do is allow our materials to grip that shank and not slide around. We're going to secure those to the shank so that they're on here. When the fish bites, it's not going to tear all your materials off. So we're going to go ahead and wrap all the way down, and I'm going to go just in the area of the hook point, and we're going to snip off that excess right there. Okay, so now we have a thread base. We're going to start out fly tying. You always start out at the back of the fly. You start from the back and you work to the eye. And in this case, we're going to start with the tail, and that tail is going to be using some material called marabou, and those are feathers. They're very fluffy. Even in the water, when they get wet, they still move. It shows a lot of movement. It almost looks like it's breathing. Looks like something's alive. Fish like to eat that stuff. So what we're going to measure is about a shank length. You can see where my thumb's at, maybe a little more. And we're going to secure this marabou at the back where we have our thread hanging, about a shank length out, and that's going to be our tail. So we're about right there. Let me secure that, and we'll then trim the excess. So we're going to put that on here now, just like that. And we're going to trim that excess off. And then we're going to secure down those fibers that were left from the trim and go right back to the base of that tail again. We're going to add a little flash to this, and what we're going to be using on the tail in this case is some silver flashabou. You know, it's hard to see, so let me go ahead and get a couple of strands up here. Let me just get a couple strands, and we're going to secure that, and that's going to add a little flash when this is moving through the water. So let me secure those down on this side, and then we're going to bring this around and secure the other side as well. And we'll trim those to approximately the length of the tail, like that. And let's see if there's any. There's one right there. Okay. Okay, that's our flash. Now we're going to be adding what's going to comprise the body, and this will be the flash ribbon. We're going to secure that ribbon to the shank. And then I'm going to wrap this. In this case, I'm going to be using my hand to wrap it, but I'm using kind of a counterclockwise wrap in this case. So we'll just wrap, and we'll be touching where the ribbon hits the shank. We're going to be touching that all the way forward so that the ribbon then touches itself like there. We're just going to move that forward quickly. And then I'm going to secure that. Once I get to the end here, I will secure that with the tying thread. Looks like what we're going to need then is one more piece of this flash ribbon in this color. Okay, we'll secure that one right there. Now we'll get the other one on here quickly. And we'll secure that down with a few thread wraps. And we'll put another one on here because we have to move it forward a little bit more. So we run that ribbon parallel with the shank, make a loop, tie it in, secure it down with a few wraps, move your thread forward, and I will continue where I left off. Right here. And secure it a little bit more. Now we're going to get our hothead effect coming up. Snip a little of this off to get a grip. And that should be enough. Let's start back just a little further. Okay, the same thing. We're still wrapping counterclockwise, keeping the threads, keeping those flash ribbon threads moving to the back. And we'll get it up close to the hook eye. And then we're going to finish up with a wrap of thread and wrap it as a head. Let's get it secured first. Snip that off. Now we'll wrap a head on here real quick. And we will finish this with what's called a whip finish, and that will secure the head wrap. So a whip finish tool right here. Put it on. I did about 6 wraps, but you can do 4 plus. As long as you have that many, it's going to hold securely. And then we'll just snip that off. Bring this up. And in order to make a nice seal on that head, we're going to use a little UV cement. And I'm just going to put 1 drip on here. There it is. And in order to set that up, we use a UV light. And that secures those wraps. None of those pipe teeth are going to tear it up. And there it is. Now what we'll do is we'll put an eye on here. The pike love to zero in on an eye, so we're going to do an eye. I liked about a 10 millimeter eye, so we're going to put that in here right now. Put a dab of this. Hold that down just for a second. This secures quite quickly. And we're going to turn over. Put another dab. If it penetrates the fiber, that's fine. It stiffens that head up a little bit. And now we'll put the eye on this side. There it is. Okay. And there you go. That is a completed flash ribbon hothead. Good for a variety of fish, but the bass and the pike really, really like that. And as I mentioned, just like the other one that we had right here, one thing I want to quick point out is that we can try a variety of different colors for this as well. So you can actually be a little bit of have a little creativity when you're doing this. I used a few different colors just to give you an example. There's some right there. Leave those sit right here. And one other one. This one's kind of a little more, kind of a bluegill pattern that I like as well. Now remember, these are all in the mid-size like the bass love to have. And we're looking for a very small, this is a dry fly, just to give you a little bit of perspective. This is a fly many people use for trout. Give you an idea size-wise, there's a dime. So you make these quite small. You don't have to do the mid-size, but we also can make those. This one's up to a foot long, and this one's for the big pike and muskies. So you can do that as well. But we just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea what it was going to take to be creative with fly tying. It really opens up some of your creative juices to get flowing. But I appreciate Mrs. Brown for giving me the time to share this, and I hope it enthuses some of you to try a little fly tying. But thank you so much for the time. Hope you're all having a great day.